So what attracted me to art really stems from my childhood. I was always making things, always drawing, always painting. And in my last year of school, I realized this what I wanted to do as a career. I wanted to become an artist. I wanted to make pieces of work that I can find a way to express my ideas, my concepts. I went on an artist residency in Canada, and it was the first time I got to have my own studio, a large space to work in, and in such a beautiful location. I made my first self-portrait that was humongous, stretching up to 4 meters in height. And it really allowed me to make work that was at a large scale. I came across an artist named Kumi Yamashita. She's a Japanese artist, and I really fell in love with her technique where she uses pins on the surface and then gets thread, weaving it between the nail heads and building an image. I just found that it was an amazing way to show someone's spirit, someone's character, as she did portraiture of using this process. And I wanted to try it out, even though I had art teachers say like, I don't think you'll be able to pull it off, or I just think it's too hard or difficult. That just made me want to do it anyway. I tried it out and I realized that I could make these works, and I started simply by adding nails and adding string and copying from her, from what she made. Eventually, I realized through constant experimentation that I wanted to use this technique in my main body of work. It really became a part of me as an artist, and I call my works constellations. So my topics of inspiration is mainly figuratism and the female form. But what I love to represent in my works is the idea of femininity and the delicacy of textiles in my constellations. But yet I use these pins, these materials, these threads that are unexpected, and use them in a way where one can't see what the work is from a distance. But as you go closer, as you get closer to the work, you realize what the materials are. And I like that blend of realism and abstraction that come together in a way depending on what perspective you see it from. So where I've exhibited my work has been mostly in London, but I have exhibited internationally. I've exhibited in Canada, I've exhibited in New York in the US, but most of my works have been displayed in London in various galleries and spaces. Where I'll be exhibiting next will be in London, and it's a collective of Ukrainian artists where we will explore subjects of Ukraine, political subjects, but also subjects of culture. And it is something that we are all organising together, and we will let you know more details. I think the times I found it most difficult were during COVID, as I felt very closed off from the world, from influences that I would take from I couldn't go to galleries, I couldn't see my friends' work and studios. And I was in a very much a world of my own that I created at the time. And finding source of inspiration in those moments were very difficult. In terms of my practice, when the Ukrainian war in February last year broke out, it was quite a shock to me at the time, and I spent a month of not making work or not knowing how I can, and feeling I should, and I feeling like I need to make work about what's happening. It was very much a time of feeling frozen and not knowing what to do, feeling helpless. But looking through other art stories and other artists, Ukrainian artists especially, whether they were in the country or outside the country, what they were doing and how they were making work and how they were expressing their thoughts and ideas on what was happening. It really gave me strength and motivation to see how I can make work about all these people, all these stories, and in a way that I felt what was important, that highlighted atrocities, but yet also celebrates culture, celebrates what Ukraine really means to me and what it really means to, I guess, Ukrainians and the country itself, and represent it in a way that is celebratory and try and find more of the positive aspects of a dreadful situation. When I graduated from art school, from university, my final project was about identity and Ukraine, and I was using that technique of nails and thread, my constellations, to create an anatomical heart. And I included embroidery, cross-stitch from traditional Ukrainian sources. And what I came up with was an installational piece. It was one of the most meaningful works I feel like I've made. So where I would like to go next with my work is to explore the subject of Ukraine more within my process, within my practice of using nails and thread. I normally work very monochrome with these materials, using black thread or white thread or different tones of grey. But I would really like to work in more colour and see where that takes me, and see the challenges it also brings in working with colour. I find artists like to work in different scales, and with me, I find depending on the space, depending on my resources, I gravitate into working big, as I love to create more of an immersive environment with my practice. Having the opportunity to do that is where I believe I'll go forward with my work.